Close your eyes, not yet to sleep, but to the world outside this moment. Let the weight of the day, the buzz of thought, the tightness of worry begin to soften at the edges. Supporting you completely, notice the gentle rise and fall of your own breath, the quiet tide within and now. Imagine that with every exhalation you are releasing, and with every inhalation you are drawing in a deep, velvety calm. We are drawing in a deep, velvety calm, leaving the shores of the waking world. We are setting out on a journey not of distance, but of depth. A journey inward downstream, into a realm of profound peace. There is no need to pack a bag, no need to plan a route. Your only task is to listen, to allow the words to become images in the quiet theater of your mind, and to let those images lull you into the most serene and restful of sleeps. Picture, if you will, a transition. The light behind your eyelids darkens from twilight to a soft, encompassing black. It is not an empty black, but a rich, velvety one, like the space between the stars. And in this darkness, a new sense begins to awaken. It is the sense of stillness, a silence so deep it has a texture. It is the silence of a place untouched by wind, by traffic, by the hum of electricity. It is the primordial silence of the earth's deepest embrace. Now, to this stillness, add a sensation not falling. You are cradled. You are lying in a small wooden boat. It is warm to the touch, its wood smoothed by time and water into a perfect, cozy shape that holds you as comfortably as a cradle. A thin, soft blanket is over you, and a small plush cushion supports your head. You are perfectly comfortable, perfectly safe. Beneath you, the water is perfectly still. It is not a lake, but a river moving with such infinite patience that its motion is imperceptible. Are drifting. There's no current you can feel, only a gentle, undeniable progress forward into the darkness. The air is cool, but not cold. A refreshing, clean coolness that fills your lungs. It smells of wet stone, of ancient, clean water, and of a faint, mineral scent, like the air after rain has fallen on sun-warmed rock. And then, the first light, it begins as a faint, violet blush in the distance, a suffusion of color in the black as your boat drifts silently toward it. The light grows, not in brightness, but in richness. It reveals the smooth, curved walls of a tunnel. You are at the mouth of an underground river, and you are drifting into its first hidden chamber. This is where our sleep story truly begins. You are here, in the boat, an observer at rest, carried by the ancient, silent water. There is no effort required, no decision to make. Your only job is to witness the beauty, to absorb the tranquility, and to let the rhythmic sound of the water and the slow unveiling of wonders gently untie the knots of wakefulness. Amethyst. We are about to enter the cavern of amethyst. Let its soft purple light wash over you like a visual lullaby. Then, the sparkling clarity of the court will clear your mind. The tranquil blue glow of the blue calcite cavern will soothe your spirit. And throughout, the only sounds will be the heartbeat of this subterranean world. The occasional melodic plink of a water droplet falling into the river, and the soft, shushing lap of water against the side of your boat. A sound as old as time itself. So settle in. Adjust your blanket. Feel the gentle rock of the boat. Let your breathing deepen, matching its slow, serene rhythm, embarking on the most restful of voyages, down the underground river of crystals. There is no hurry. There is no destination but sleep. Let us begin our drift. The boat, a curved shell of dark, polished wood, drifted with a silent will of its own, entering the mouth of the cavern where the violet light lived. It was not a light that shone, but a light that bled from the very walls. The tunnel opened up, the ceiling soaring away into a darkness that the gentle purple glow could not but conquer, creating a vast cathedral space. The walls were not smooth here. They were a breathtaking geode of cosmic scale, millions upon millions of amethyst crystals, each the size of a hand or a head or a heart, grew in chaotic, gorgeous lusters. They pulsed, very softly, with an inner luminescence. It was as if the stone had captured the very last moments of twilight and held it within its facets for eternity. The light they cast onto the still black water was a shimmering tapestry of lavender and deep plum. The boat passed so close to one wall that you could see the intricate structure of the crystals, their hexagonal terminations, their points sharp yet softened by the glow. The purple light felt gentle on the glow eyes, a visual equivalent of a hushed whisper. It was said, in some old tales, that amethyst brought calm and peaceful sleep. As the boat drifted through this radiant violet realm, that promise seemed woven into the very air. The light felt like a balm, easing the eyes to close, then opening them again to see new, wondrous formations. A cascade of crystals that looked like a frozen waterfall of wine-dark ice. A towering column that seemed to hold up the vault of the cave itself, its facets glittering with a million tiny star points of deeper purple. The silence here was profound, but not empty, gathered its courage, and fell. Plink. The sound was crystal clear, a perfect musical note that echoed softly through the cavern before being absorbed by the soft velvety air and the thirsty water. Then, a moment later, from another direction, another plink. It was a random, soothing rhythm, a lullaby of geology. The only other sound was the soft, almost inaudible shush lap of water against the boat's hull. As it imperceptibly nudged forward, it was the sound of stillness forward. It was the sound of stillness in motion. Time lost all meaning in the amethyst glow. It could have been minutes or hours that the boat journeyed through that royal, tranquil light. Gradually, almost reluctantly, the purple began to fade at the edges, diluted by a new, clear brilliance. The boat drifted around a gentle bend in the river, and the cavern of amethyst yielded to a sight of breathtaking purity. The quartz cavern was not one color, but all colors and none. The walls, floor, and distant ceiling were encrusted with massive crystals of clear quartz. some as large as trees, others like fields of frozen, transparent grass. They did not pulse with their own light like the amethyst. Instead, they acted as prisms and mirrors, capturing the faint, residual purple light from behind and refracting it, throwing it back in a dazzling, silent display of sparkles and rainbows. It was as if the ceiling was the night sky, but a sky filled with a million stationary, glittering stars. A beam of refracted light, split into a tiny spectrum of red, blue, and green, might dance across the water for a moment before vanishing, only to be replaced by another elsewhere. The clarity was startling. The water here seemed even more transparent, and looking down, you could see right into its profound depths, where quartz crystals grew upwards from the riverbed, like a sunken forest of glass. The air itself seemed clearer, spoke of clarity of mind, of thought washed clean. The occasional plink of water here had a sharper, more bell-like tone, and its echo danced around the crystalline facets, creating a tiny, fading chorus. The boat's gentle progress stirred reflections in the perfect water, making the sparkling ceiling above double itself in the dark mirror below, until it felt as though you were drifting through the very center of a giant diamond, suspended between two universes of cold, clean fire. This sparkling realm, too, for all its dazzling beauty, was a passing dream. The sheer, sharp brilliance gradually softened, blurred at the edges as if a gentle lens was being placed over the eyes. The clear, fracturing light began to blend into a single pervasive hue. The boat slid from the diamond brilliance into a realm of profound, tranquil blue. The blue calcite cavern took the breath away with its serenity. The crystals here were smooth, flowing, almost liquid in their formation. They grew in great, rounded mounds and soft stalactites that dripped from the ceiling like solidified azure tears. Their light was a soft, internal glow, the blue of a deep, peaceful lagoon at dusk, or of a shadow on a snowfield. It was a cooling, soothing light that seemed to sink into the skin, calming the pulse, slowing the heart. After the visual excitement of the quartz, this single, gentle hue was a profound relief. The water here turned into a sheet of dark cobalt, and the blue glow from the walls stained the air itself, making it feel thick with peace. Here, the sounds of water changed. The plinks were less frequent, deeper in tone, more like the low note of a bamboo chime. The lapping of the water against the boat was softer, muffled by the velvety blue light. The cavern felt like a great, gentle lung holding a breath of perfect contentment. The boat drifted past formations that looked like frozen waves, like sapphire pillows, like the folded wings of giant, sleeping butterflies made of stone. The blue light felt like a physical embrace, a cool compress on the forehead of the mind, easing away the very last fragments of thought, of planning, of thought, remembering there was only the blue, the soft rock of the boat, the quiet sound of deep earth water. The river carried you on, through this tranquil azure dream. And as it did, even the magnificent blue glow began to gentle further, fading, not to darkness but to a soft, warm gloom. The expansive cavern walls gradually drew closer again, the ceiling lowered, and the sense of immense glowing chambers gave way to something more intimate. Scattered clusters of crystals, tiny, faintly glowing points of yellow citrine, soft green fluorite, and the occasional rose quartz that speckled the walls like shy, fading stars. It was the twilight of the crystal realms. The river widened into a final, quiet lagoon. The water became even more still, if that were possible, its surface a perfect, black mirror. And there, ahead, was a shore, not a rough, stony bank, but a crescent of pale, soft sand, glowing faintly and faint, residual light from the crystal-speckled walls. It looked as fine and smooth as powdered sugar, with a whisper so faint it was more feeling than a sound. The bow of the boat nudged into the sand. The drifting stopped. You had arrived. The gentle rocking settled into absolute, blissful stillness. The sand of the shore was warm, as if it had stored the memory of sunlight from an age ago. The air in this small, final cavern was the perfect temperature, still and quiet. The only sound was the faintest, most distant drip from somewhere in the friendly darkness, a slow metronome for dreams. This was the place. There was no need to go any further. The boat was your bed, the sand your chamber floor, the soft glow of the tiny crystals your nightlight. The profound, deep peace of the underground world settled around you, like the most luxurious blanket. Your eyelids grew heavy, not with tiredness, but with the weight of perfect serenity. The images of fair purple light, the sparkling clear rainbows, the tranquil blue glow, all swirled gently in your mind, blending into a soft, colorful mist. The rhythm of your breath synchronized with the timeless, slow drip, and the memory of the water's lappers against the hull. You are safe. You are deeply, profoundly comfortable. The boat rests securely on the warm sand. The gentle, earth-held darkness is a friend. The journey is complete, and its purpose is found in this moment of perfect, yielding rest. Let the last visual thought be the soft, faint glow of a tiny crystal cluster, like a distant, friendly constellation. Then let that too gently fade away into the welcome, silent, and utterly peaceful dark. Drift now, not utterly peaceful dark, on water, but on the deeper current of sleep, deeper and deeper. Let go, sleep. The silence here is different. In the great caverns, the silence was majestic, an auditorium awaiting a symphony of light here in this final lagoon. Fear in this final lagoon. Fear in this final lagoon. Silence is intimate. It is a blanket itself, thick and soft, settling into the curves of the cavern, muffling even the memory of sound. You can hear your own breath, a slow and steady tide, and beneath it, the quiet, almost imperceptible rhythm of your own heart. They are not intrusions. They are part of the silence, its gentle, living metronome. You look up. The ceiling here is low, a domed sky of smooth, dark rock, but it is not bare. Scattered across it, like the most delicate of constellations, are tiny crystals. They are not the grand amethysts or towering quartz of the earlier caverns. These are shy minerals, holding just a ghost of luminescence, a dusting of citron, each speck holding the faint, warm yellow of a distant candle flame, a smattering of fluorite and gentle greens and violets, their light so soft it seems to breathe, and here and there, a piece of rose quartz, glowing with the tender blush of a seashell at dawn. They do not pulse, they simply are, constant and gentle. a ceiling of slow-burning fossilized stars. Their light does not illuminate. It suggests, it outlines the curve of the shore, gleams on the still water of the lagoon, and touches your hands, resting on the blanket with a feather-light caress. The air is still, completely, utterly still. It carries the scent of sun-warmed sand, though no sun has ever touched this place. It is the mineral memory of heat, of comfort. There is the mineral memory of heat, clean, wet stone smell, and a faint, dry, chalky scent from the walls. You breathe it in, and it feels like drinking cool, clear water. Each breath feels deeper, cleaner, more satisfying than the last. Your lungs expand fully, your lungs expand fully, your lungs expand fully. Shoulders drop, and a sigh. The last conscious one you might take tonight. Escapes you, merging seamlessly with the quiet. You feel the solidity of the boat beneath you, the gentle pressure of the cushion, the comforting weight of the blanket. You are held. You are supported. There is nowhere to be, nothing to do. The compulsion of the waking world, to move, to think, to do, has been washed away by the gentle river and left behind in those glowing caverns. All that remains is the privilege of being, of resting, of witnessing this perfect, hidden peace. Your gaze drifts from the star-speckled ceiling to the black mirror of the lagoon. The water is so still, it is impossible to tell where the sand of the shore ends and its reflection begins. The faint crystal lights from above are perfectly duplicated in its depths, but softer, blurred at the edges, as if viewed through a pane of the darkest glass. It creates a feeling of infinite space, a floating of infinite space, a floating between two identical starry skies. The boat is the only anchor, the only proof of which way is up. A single, perfect droplet of water forms on the tip of a small stalactite above the lagoon. It gathers itself, a tiny sphere of captured crystal light. It grows, heavy with time, and then releases. It falls with silent grace. A liquid pearl, plink. The sound is deep, soft, resonant. It is not an echo that rebounds, but a vibration that expands, widening in gentle rings, but a vibration that expands, widening in gentle rings. Across the black water, you watch the ripples move out, perfect circles, breaking the mirror-like surface and setting the reflected stars to a gentle, shimmering dance. They travel all the way to the far wall, a journey of silent, expanding, expanding, calm, and then they fade. The water becomes glass once more. Plink. Another, from a different place. Its rings intersect with the memory of the first. A silent, geometric conversation happening over seconds and centuries. This is the rhythm of the place. This is its heartbeat. Beat so slow, so spaced, that the silence between is vast and deep and full. You find yourself waiting for it, not with anticipation, but with a tranquil acceptance. The plink comes, marks the passage of a moment, and then the deep, velvety silence returns, even richer for having been briefly painted with sound. Time, that strict ruler of the world above, has no dominion here. It unravels, becomes a loose thread. Was it a minute ago? You saw the last blue calcite? An hour, a year, it does not matter. There is only the eternal now of the warm sand, the starry ceiling, the black water, and the occasional melodic plink. Your mind, that busy workshop of thoughts, has finally fallen still. Thoughts may arise, a fragment of fallen still memory, a wisp of wonder about the crystals, but they are like tiny bubbles in the lagoon. They reach the surface, gleam for an instant, and then pop, absorbed back into the calm, dark depth of your awareness. There is no need to follow them. They are ephemeral, and they are welcome to come and go as they please. They are not you. You are the watcher, the listener, the breather in this quiet place. Your body is merging with the comfort of the boat. It is hard to tell where your own warmth ends and the gentle, radiant heat from the sand begins. Your limbs feel heavy, but pleasantly so, as if they are made of the same warm, smooth wood that cradles you. Your fingers, resting on the blanket, have lost all tension. They lost all tension. You are simply lying there, receptive. Your face is smooth, your jaw unclenched, your tongue resting easy in your mouth. Even the muscles behind your eyes, so often held in a subtle squint against the world, have relaxed into soft, receiving spheres. You listen to your breath, in and out. In, the cool, mineral-scented air fills you. You release it, and with it, the very last whispers of the day, and a deeper breath now, reaching down to your toes. Now, a sigh of letting go. Your breathing is beginning to synchronize with the rhythm of the cavern. The space between the plinks is like the space between the breaths. A spacious, peaceful plateau. You look again at the tiny crystals above, that cluster of citrine. If you let your eyes soften, it looks like a tiny, glowing crown. That trail of fluorite. It could be a meandering river on a map of a dreamland. That single, slightly brighter rose quartz. It's a sentinel, a friendly watchman for your sleep. There is no need to focus. Let the shapes and lights blur into a gentle, radiant haze. Let them become the last beautiful sight before your eyelids close, and they are growing heavy. So beautifully heavy. Each eyelash feels like a weight of silk. The act of holding them open requires a gentle effort, and then you decide you can let that effort go. There is nothing more you need to see. The image of the warm shore, the still lagoon, the starry ceiling, it is imprinted inside you. You can see it with your eyes closed. Slowly, slowly, like the most languid of curtains fall at the end of the most peaceful day. Your eyelids drift shut. The darkness that greets you is not a darkness from before the journey, but now it is familiar. It is a friend. It is filled with the afterglow of the crystals. Purple swirls gently into blue in the darkness behind your lids. Sparkles of clear, tranquil blue settles as the dominant hue. painting your inner vision with peace. The physical world recedes. The feel of the boat, the blanket, the warmth. They are still there, but they are more distant now, as if you are feeling them through a layer of the softest down. Soothing, internal rhythm. Shush lap. Shush lap. It is the sound of waves on a shore made of thought, washing away any last tiny pebbles of mental chatter. You are floating, not just on the water, but in the very air, in the darkness, in a time itself. There is no up or down. You are cradled in the heart of the earth, in a pocket of perfect safety. Nothing can reach you here. No worry, no sound, no demand. This place is outside of all that. It is a secret that the world keeps for rest. And you have found it. A deep, soft warmth spreads from your core. It starts in your chest, a glowing ember of tranquility, and it radiates outward along your limbs to the very tips of your fingers and toes. It meets the warmth from the sand below and melds with it. You are glowing with rest. Your muscles are not just relaxed. They are dissolving into this warmth, this comfort. Your spine, often a column of held tension, feels like a string of warm, heavy beads, each vertebra sinking into perfect alignment on the cushioned support. Your mind is a still pool. Thoughts are like leaves far, far above on the surface of a very deep well. They are there, but they are irrelevant, distant, unable to touch the profound stillness at your center. You are sinking into that center, deeper and deeper with every cycle of breath, with every resonant clink from the darkness. Memories of the journey play in a slow, gentle loop. The amethyst light, so resolute and soft. The sparkle of the quartz. A fireworks display in slow motion. The tranquil blue embrace of the calcite. They are not sharp images anymore, but feelings, colors that wash through you. Each one deepening your sense of not just remembering the river. You are still on it, forever drifting through those beautiful caverns. And now you have reached its ultimate silent source, the boundary between your body and the boat, between the boat and the water, between the boat and the water. The water and the air begins to softly blur. You are becoming part of the cavern. Your breath is the slight movement of air in the space. Your heartbeat is the slow, deep plink of the distant water. Your warmth is the warmth of the sand. There is no separation. You are resting, and the earth itself is resting with you. A profound sense of gratitude wells up, not as a thought, but as a sensation. It is a sweet, heavy, peaceful feeling in your chest. Gratitude for this, and for this safety, for this profound and utter lack of need. There is nothing you need to be but here, now, asleep, and sleep is coming. It is not a sudden wave, but a rising tide of dark, velvety softness from below. It laps at the thick edges of your awareness, claiming you bit by bit. The sound of your own breathing grows more distant, as if someone else is breathing in the room. The Clinks from the cave are becoming the punctuation marks in a story you are no longer following, just hearing the soothing rhythm of its telling. Your hands are asleep, your feet are asleep. The warmth has completed its journey, enveloping you entirely. Dreams on a shore of forgotten time. Let the last thread of waking consciousness go. It is a silken thread, and you simply open your fingers and release it. It floats away on the still, dark air of the cavern. There is nothing to hold on to, nothing to remember, nothing to do. You are asleep, deep in the heart of the world, in the boat on the warm sand. Under the gentle glow of the crystal stars, you sleep. The sleep is not blank, but rich and full of the textures of the journey. It is the color of amethysts. It is the clear, cool feeling of quartz. It is the deep, tranquil blue of calcite. It is dreamless, but not empty. It is a sleep of profound restoration, where every cell, released from the gravity of wakefulness, hums with a quiet, repairing light. The cavern keeps its watch. The droplets continue their slow, timeless fall. Plink, a pause that stretches into eternity. Plink, the black water holds the stars perfectly. The sand radiates its ancient, stored warmth. All is as it should be. All is at peace. The underground river flows on, silently, in the darkness beyond the lagoon. But here, at its quiet terminus, there is only stillness, and your deep, perfect, and endless sleep. The sleep is absolute, a seamless immersion into a state of being that has no edges, no beginning, no end. It is a return to a primordial quietude, a place before language, before thought, before the very concept of self. Within this profound slumber, you are not separate from the warm wood of the boat, the fine-grained sand, the still water. You are the gentle heat rising from the shore. You are the echo of the last plink fading into velvet silence. You are the soft, pervasive glow of the crystal constellations far above, a light that has journeyed through stone for eons just to watch over this moment rest. In this state, time does not pass. It simply is a vast, deep pool in which you float, motionless. Plink sends a shiver of calm through the very fabric of the air, a reassurance that the world is functioning as it should, that you are held in its timeless, caring mechanism. Between these sonic punctuations, the silence is not an absence, but a presence, a thick, soft substance that fills every crevice of the cavern, every space between your resting fingers, every corner of your mind now blessedly still. The warmth from the sand is a living thing. It seeps up through the hull of the boat, a gentle, radiant energy that seems to emanate from the very core of the planet. It doesn't just warm your skin. It seems to seep into your bones, melting away the last crystalline remnants of daily tension, of held worries, of subtle anxieties that linger in the muscles like cold shadows. This warmth speaks of ancient sunlight, absorbed by the surface world millennia ago, and and slowly, patiently conducted down through layers of rock, filtered and purified until it is nothing but pure, comforting essence. It is a lullaby of heat, a promise that you are anchored in a place of deep, geothermal safety. The boat itself feels less like a crafted object and more like an extension of the environment, a natural cradle shaped by environment, water, and time. Its curved sides hold you perfectly, its contours accepting the shape of your body without pressure or demand. The wood, smoothed to a satin finish by countless years of gentle mineral-rich water, carries the scent of deep mineral-rich water. Forests that have long since turned to coal and stone, a ghost of loam and resin that lingers as a final, comforting memory of the world above. You are not lying in it. You are a part of it, a symbiotic entity of rest nestled in its wood embrace. Above, the tiny crystals continue their eternal, gentle vigil. Their light is not for illumination, but for companionship. They are like the eyes of friendly creatures in the dark, watching without judgment, offering their meek phosphorescence as a gift. A cluster of citron holds a pinprick of warmth against the cool dark. A vein of fluorite traces a lazy, greenish path like a forgotten river on a map. A solitary rose quartz winks with a motherly pink glow. If you could see them through your closed eyelids, they would be blurred, soft orbs of color, merging and separating in the dark field of vision, painting abstract, soothing patterns on the canvas of your sleep. They are the last visual anchors to the waking world, and they too are gently fading, their soft signals becoming indistinguishable from the inner, colorful darkness of deep rest. Your breathing has become one with the cavern's slow respiration. Each inhale draws in the cool, stone-scented air that has never known pollution or tumult, air that has been filtered through miles of crystalline rock. It is air that tastes of clarity, of absolute purity, of absolute purity. Each exhale is a release of everything you carried down, the microscopic dust of the day, the faint electrical buzz of thought, the carbon of expended energy. You are being cleansed from the inside out, your lungs acting as bellows for a subterranean forge that is tempering your spirit in stillness. The sound of your breath is a soft, steady whisper, a companion sound to the water's occasional song. And then, deeper than sound, there is a feeling, a vibration so low and subtle it is felt in the marrow rather than heard by feet. It is the hum of the earth, the tectonic slumber of continental plates, the slow grind of stone upon stone miles below, the vast magnetic song of the planet's core. It is a fundamental drone, the baseline of existence. This hum cradles you more surely than the boat, more deeply than the water. It is the reason for the profound sense of safety. You are connected to the source of all stability, resting on the breast of the world mother. This hum is the true lullaby, older than life itself, and it sings you deeper, past the stages of sleep, into the wordless, timeless realm of pure being. Dreams, if they come, are not narratives. They are sensations. The feeling of purple light washing over skin like cool silk. The tactile memory of running a hand over the smooth, glassy face of a quartz crystal, its temperature perfectly neutral. The sensation of floating in the tranquil blue, weightless and embraced. They are echoes of the journey, not as memories. Not echoes of the journey, not as memories, but as experiences being absorbed and integrated into your very cells. Your mind is not telling itself stories. It is marinating in the experiences of peace, beauty, and stillness, allowing them to rewire its quiet circuits for calm. Your body has now fully surrendered. It is a landscape at rest. Muscles are not just relaxed. They are in a state of perfect, supported neutrality. Joints are open and fluid. The nervous system, so often a crackling network of alertness, has dialed its settings down to the barest minimum maintenance. Hum. All energy is turned inward, not for thinking or doing, but for the deep cellular work of repair and restoration. It is as if each cell is a tiny, darkened room where gentle workers are silently cleaning, sorting, and rejuvenating, lit only by the soft internal glow of your own well-being. The boundary of yourself has dissolved entirely. Where do you end and the warm air begin? Where does the cushion of sand beneath the boat end and the support you feel begin? There is no line. You are a locus of awareness suspended in a medium of perfect comfort. You are the stillness. You are the quiet. You are the space between the falling drops. This is the ultimate gift of the cavern. Not just a place to sleep, but an experience of non-separation. A return to a state where the individual self is peacefully merged with a benevolent, silent universe. The occasional plink of water is now the only event in eternity. It is not an interruption, but a reaffirmation of the peace. Each drop is a blessing, a liquid note that rings through the darkness and confirms that all is well. You wait for it not with anticipation, but with a deep, knowing contentment. It will come, beautiful expanse of silence before it does. You simply are, in a state of profound and wordless grace. Hours wheel by in the world above. The moon arcs across the sky. Tides pull at shores. Creatures stir in their nocturnal routines. But here, in the heart of stone, there is no hour. There is only the endless, nurturing present. The warm sand does not cool. Wider channel. Beyond the lagoon flows with the same infinite patience. This place exists outside of time's river, in an eddy of perpetual serenity. And you sleep on. The sleep deepens, becomes even more seamless, more profound. The last faint awareness of the boat, of the blanket, of your own physical form, only evaporates. You are pure consciousness, resting in the dark. You are a thought that the earth is thinking, a quiet, peaceful thought of rest. You are held. You are safe. You are home. This is the destination the river was always meant to reach. Not a place on a map, but a state of being. The caverns of light were the preparation, the gradual stripping away of stimulation, leading you to this final, simple truth. That deep within, underneath all the layers of life and noise, emotion, there is this, a warm shore, a silent lagoon, a boat that is both vessel and nest, and a sleep that is the very essence of peace. So sleep there is no need to ever wake, or rather, when waking eventually comes, it will be a gentle surfacing from this deep, still pool. You will carry its silence and its warmth with you, a souvenir from the underground river of crystals. But for now, that is a concern for another lifetime. For now, there is only this: the darkness, the warmth, the occasional melodic plink, and the endless, gentle, perfect descent into the deepest, most restorative rest you have ever known. The story is over. The lullaby is sung. There is nothing left but to be here in the beautiful, endless night of the earth's gentle embrace. The silence deepens, becoming a tangible entity. A soft pressure that is not oppressive, but is not right. Like silence, your own internal sounds become gentle landmarks. The slow, tidal rhythm of your blood is a distant ocean in a shell held to the ear. The whisper of air moving in and out of your lungs is the softest breeze through ancient, petrified forests. These are not distractions, but the harmonious workings of your own body, now in perfect accord with the slow pulse of the cavern. They are part of the music of rest. The warmth from the sand continues its gentle work. It has penetrated beyond your skin, beyond your muscles, and now seems to soothe the very pathways of your nerves, the quiet corridors along which thoughts once raced. Those pathways are dark now, and tranquil like empty halls after a festival, still echoing with the faint, pleasant memory activity, but now settled into a profound and peaceful calm. The warmth is a golden light within these halls, not illuminating them, but simply filling them with a comfortable, radiant neutrality. There is no need for light here. There is only the comfort of the dark. The boat, your wooden cocoon, has become so much a part of you that you no longer feel it as a separate object. It is the shape of your rest, the defined boundary of your just peace. Its slight curve cradles your spine, a perfect fit as if it grew around you. The gentle, mineral scent of the water that once cradled it lingers in the wood, a clean, simple perfume that is the smell of stillness itself. You are not lying on it. You are of it. A symbiotic stillness. Above, the crystal constellations perform their slow, eternal rotation. But it is not a rotation of movement, but of attention. As your consciousness drifts in its formless sea, different clusters seem to softly brighten and then recede, as if taking turns keeping watch. Now the citrine glows a fraction warmer, casting a honeyed tint on the inside of your eyelids. Now it fades, and green fluorite takes its turn. Its light, like the memory of sunlight through deep forest leaves. Then the rose quartz, the blush of kindness in the dark. They are the gentle, cyclical heartbeat of the visual world. A slow, comforting rhythm for eyes that are closed but still perceiving. The plink of the water droplets continues its sacred, sparse ritual, Each drop is a universe of its own, the long, patient gathering as it forms, a perfect sphere drawing minerals and history into its tiny body. The moment of release, a surrender to gravity that is also a completion, the fall through the cool, still air, the kiss upon the surface of the black lagoon, a sound so pure it seems to clean the air with its vibration, and then the expanding rings, traveling outward to the unseen shores, a message of here and no that dissipates into the welcoming silence. You are not listening to these events. You are experiencing them from within. You are the gathering, the fall, the kiss, the ring. Happening inside the vast, white cathedral of your sleep time has not merely stopped. It has unraveled into a single, endless moment. The concept of before and after has melted away. There is only this everlasting present, this sustained note of perfect rest. Did you enter the cavern of amethyst an hour ago, a century ago? It is all the same. The journey was the prelude, the winding path that led to this central. Still point, all the beautiful lights were to prepare your senses for this ultimate darkness, this richest of velvets. There were the colors painted on the inside of the shell so that when you closed it, you carried their essence with you. Your mind is not empty, it is vast. It is a clear night sky without stars, a space of infinite potential and profound peace. Occasionally, a wisp of found peace. Occasionally, a wisp of something passes through, not a thought, but a sensation color. A wash of amethyst so deep it is almost black. A flash of clear sparkle that vanishes before it can be grasped. A wave of tranquil, cooling blue. These are not memories being recalled. They are echoes resonating in the chambers of your being. The afterglow of beauty being absorbed into your very essence. They are the nutrients of your sleep. And deeper still, there is the hum, the foundational drone of the planet. It is the sound of mass, of gravity, of existence itself. It is a sound felt in the roots of your teeth, in the cradle of your skull, in the center of your bones. It is the lullaby the earth sings to all her children. It says, I am here. I am solid. I hold you. You are safe. This hum is the true bed upon which you rest, more solid than stone, more constant than light. It is the reason for the profound, unshakable security that permeates every atom of your being in this place. You are not just in the earth. You are listening to its deepest, most ancient song. Your breathing has become so slow, so shallow, that it is nearly indistinguishable from the gentle movement of air in the cavern. You are breathing with the earth. Each inhalation is the cavern drawing in the faintest sigh. Each exhalation is a release of warmth back into the still air. The cycle is seamless, automatic, a function of the universe as natural as the falling of the water or the glowing of the water, or the glowing of the crystals. There is no effort, only the graceful, tidal exchange. A profound and wordless understanding settles upon you, not as knowledge, but as a state. It is the understanding that this peace is not a temporary escape, but a fundamental truth, that beneath the noise and struggle and movement of life, This core of silence and warmth and safety always exists nowhere new. It guided you back home to the center of your own quiet being, which is also the center of the world. The sense of gratitude returns, not as an emotion, but as the very substance of your being. You are gratitude sleeping. You are gratitude sleeping. Our thankfulness given form and rest. It is a sweet, heavy, pervasive feeling that has no object, because it is for everything. For the boat, for the sand, for the crystals, for the water, for the silence, for the darkness, for the simple, miraculous fact of existence in this state of perfect grace. Sleep is no longer something you are doing. It is what you are. You are sleep dreaming itself. You are the rest of the world made manifest in a single peaceful form. Your identity have dissolved completely into the nurturing dark. There is no you to be asleep. Sacred chamber dedicated to the holy work of deep, unconscious healing. The crystals are its silent priests, the falling water its gentle chant, the warm sand its offering of comfort. You are the recipient of its ancient, patient ministry. It continues, the eternal now, the gentle plink, the soft glow, the radiant warmth, the hum of the world. There is no need for anything to change. This is completeness. This is the answer to every unasked question, the balm for every unseen wound, the haven from every storm, real or imagined. You are anchored in the absolute. You are loved by the silence. You are cradled in the heart of time. Nothing can touch you here. All is well. All is so deeply, profoundly, eternally eternal. Well, and so you rest, not for a night, but for as long as the universe requires. You are part of the geology of peace now, a layer of serenity deposited in this hidden stratum, a fossil of perfect calm that will remain long after the boat and the sand and the crystals have returned to dust. This sleep is your legacy to yourself, a timeless interval of pure being in the underground river of crystals, on the warm shore of forever. The peace, by some alchemy of deep rest, deepens further still. It is as if you have passed through a silent velvet curtain into a chamber of sleep within sleep, a sanctum of utter quietude. The faint, rhythmic sensations that anchored you before, the distant hum, the occasional plink, the soft glow behind your eyelids, have now receded into a unified field of absolute stillness. They are not gone, but they have been fully integrated. You are not hearing the hum. You are the hum. You are not feeling the warmth. You are the warmth. You are the warmth. Radiating gently into the cool, dark air. In this profound depth, the very concept of sensation begins to soften and blur. The feeling of the blanket is no longer a texture against your skin, but a general, ambient softness that permeates your skin. Awareness. The boat is no longer a shape beneath you, but the simple, unquestionable fact of support. There is no longer a you being supported, and a boat doing the supported, and a boat doing the supported self, an eternal, effortless principle in action. The darkness behind your eyes is no longer black. It is a color beyond color. It is the visual equivalent of a deep, resonant chord held by a string instrument the size of the world. It is rich, it is full, it is endlessly deep. If you could fall into this darkness, you would fall forever, in perfect comfort, never landing, never needing to land, because the falling itself is the rest. Time has not just stopped, it has been rendered meaningless. There is no past to remember, no future to anticipate. There is not even a present to inhabit. There is only a boundless, eternal isness. The great cosmic clock has wound down, its gears stilled, its pendulum frozen at the bottom of its arc. This is the pause between the ticks, stretched out into infinity. All urgency has dissolved. All haste has evaporated. Everything that ever needed to be done is done. Everything that ever needed to be solved is resolved. Not through action, but through action, but through action. The profound, all-encompassing acceptance of this moment, within this timeless space. Your body is undergoing a silent, miraculous transformation. It is not a healing of illness, but a restoration to its original blueprint state of perfect equilibrium. Muscles are not just relaxed. They are receiving gentle instructions to release patterns of holding so ancient you thought they were part of your structure. Subtle tensions in the fascia. The body's web of connective tissue are softening like ice thawing under a moonless sun. Your spine, that central pillar, is aligning not with the force of will, but with the gentle, magnetic pull of the Earth's own core, becoming a conduit of stable, silent energy. Your breath has become so subtle it is almost imperceptible. A mere ghost of movement in the cavern of your chest, perfectly synchronized with the imperceptible expansion and contraction of the stone walls around you. The crystals far above are no longer points of light, but gentle pulsations in the field of your awareness. They are like distant, friendly stars seen from the bottom of a perfectly calm sea. Their light does not travel through space to reach you. It simply is, and you simply are, and you simply are, and your beings acknowledge each other in the silent language of radiance and reception. They are the keepers of this peace, and their gentle, watchful presence is woven into the very fabric of your slumber, has become a second, inverted floor of polished obsidian. The droplets that fall do not break its surface tension. They're absorbed by it. Their plink now, a sound felt in the soul rather than heard by the ear. Each drop is a blessing absorbed to them, heard by the ear, directly into the stillness, a nutrient of silence that feeds the deep calm. The ripples are no longer circles on water, but expanding rings of tranquility, moving through the essence of the cavern itself. Through you, a gentle, wordless knowing arises from this absolute quiet. It is the knowledge that you are exactly where you are meant to be, doing exactly what you are meant to be doing. There is no other place in all the universe that holds this precise configuration of peace for you. The winding path of your life, with all its twists and turns, its joys and sorrows, was secretly a navigation chart leading you here, to this boat, on this shore, in this sleep. Every experience was a current in the river that brought you home. This is the destination that was waiting at the end of every day. the silent answer to every question, the soft landing after every fall, and with this knowing comes a love so vast and unconditional it has no object. It is not love for the cavern, or for the sleep, or for yourself. It is love as the fundamental state of this hidden realm. It is the warmth in the sand, the patience in the water, the watchfulness in the crystals, the embrace of the darkness. You are immersed in it. You are breathing it. It is the air itself. This love asks for nothing, expects nothing, and gives everything. It simply is. And because you are here, you are part of its sixty isness. In the world above, dawn may be breaking, or midnight may be raining. Birds may be singing their first songs, or owls may be calling through the woods. Cars may be rushing over bridges, trains crossing continents. But here, miles, or a lifetime below, those rhythms are a distant, forgotten myth. The only rhythm is the rhythm of absolute rest. The only song is the silent hymn of the earth's core. The only journey is the infinite journey inward, which is also the infinite journey inward, which is also the infinite journey outward. As the self expands to meet the universe in a state of perfect, peaceful congruence, you are dreaming now, but not in images. You are dreaming in essences. You dream the essence of purple, a royal, soothing depth, the essence of sparkle, a joyful, clean clarity. You dream the essence of blue, a tranquil, boundless horizon. These essences mingle and flow through the darkness of your sleep, painting your subconscious with their peaceful hues. They are the colors of your soul's restoration. There is no more story to tell. The narrative has ended, and what remains is the sustained, everlasting note of being. The hook was the journey through the light. The story was the arrival on the shore. This is what comes after the story. This is the eternal epilogue, the state of grace that continues long after the last word is read or spoken. So, here you remain, cradled, loved, restored. The warm sand beneath the boat will never cool. The crystal stars above will never fade. The black water will never stir with anything but the blessed occasional drop. And you will never be anything but deeply, perfectly, and absolutely at peace. This is not a sleep from which peace. This is not a sleep from which you awake refreshed. This is a sleep from which you awake transformed. Though that awakening is an eternity away and not to be considered now. For now, and for all the nows that stretch into the forever of this hidden realm, you are asleep in realm, the arms of the earth, in the underground river of crystals, and all is, and all will ever be, profoundly, perfectly well. The stillness has become a living thing, a presence that watches over you with the patience of mountains. It is not the absence of sound, but its purest form. It is a silence so complete, it has weight and texture, a velvet density that fills the cavern and your being, pressing gently upon you with the comforting assurance of a heavy, down-filled quilt on a down-filled quilt on a cold night. This silence is not empty. It is pregnant with a peaceful potential, humming with a frequency below hearing, a vibration of pure stability, that resonates in the marrow of your bones, and the quiet spaces between your thoughts. Within your thought, this sacred hush, the last vestiges of individual identity have gently dissolved. You are not a person sleeping in a boat. You are a node in a network of tranquil energy. You are a point where the warmth from the planetary core meets the cool, dry patience of the ancient rock, where the memory of light from the crystals above is absorbed into the deep, forgiving dark. The boat is your shared body with the river. The sand is the soft tissue connecting you to the earth. The air is the breath of the cavern, and it breathes you as much as you breathe it. The concept of outside and inside has become meaningless. The gentle, rhythmic thrum you feel is both the slow, tectonic pulse of the continent and the quiet circulation of a quiet circulation of a quiet circulation. Your own blood. They are the same system, viewed from different scales. The darkness you perceive is both the immense, mineral black of the cave and the intimate darkness behind your own eyelids. There is no boundary. You have expanded to fill the chamber, and the chamber has contracted to the size of your heart. You are, and it is, and the distinction is a forgotten language. The crystals above are no longer above. They are simply there, aspects of the unit, not light emitted, but a quality of the darkness itself, a gentle phosphorescence of peace. The citrine is the warmth given a faint, visual sigh. The fluorite is the coolness expressing itself as a muted greenish dream. The rose quartz is the kindness of the stone made visible. They are not separate entities twinkling. They are the cavern's mood rings, reflecting the profound, serene emotional state of this hidden world. And you are part of that mood. Your rest contributes to their mood. Gentle luminescence. The droplets of water continue their epochal fall. But the sound has changed, or rather, your perception of it has transformed. The plink is no longer an event that happens and then fades. It is a permanent and eternal chord of the cavern. Each new drop does not make a new sound. It reinforces the one, everlasting sound that has always been here. It is the sound of patience, the sound of a single, perfect note being sustained for years. It is the audible expression of, there is no hurry. There never was. Time has not merely stopped. It has curved in on itself, forming a perfect, silent hourglass. A circle with no beginning and no end. Within this circle, all possibilities of rest exist simultaneously. You are both newly arrived on the sandy shore, and you have been sleeping here for geologic ages. The moment the boat touched the sand is happening now, and will always be happening. The gentle rocking from the journey is still echoing in the stillness, a phantom motion that soothes an inner ear that remembers movement. Past, present, and future are laid out, not as a line, but as a pool, and you are floating at its center. Your body is now a landscape in the most profound stasis. It is not inert, but vitally still, like a forest in deep winter, where life is not gone but withdrawn to the roots, pulsing with a slow, secret fire. Your heartbeat is the soft, occasional tap of a sap-laden branch in the quiet wood. Your breath is the faintest mist, rising from a warm spring amid snow. All the frantic, microscopic repairs, the flushing of toxins, the rebuilding of tissues. These are not frantic activities, but the slow, inevitable turning of seasons within your flesh. The warmth from the sand is the sun of this internal winter, a low, constant star ensuring the deep, slow work of restoration continues unfalteringly. A sense of gratitude so deep it is beyond. Emotion continues to be the very medium of your existence, but it has broadened. It is not gratitude for anything. It is gratitude as the fundamental principle of this reality. The sand is grateful to hold the boat. The water is grateful to hold the boat. Reflect the crystal light. The air is grateful to carry the scent of stone. The darkness is grateful to embrace it all. And you, in your state of non-separate being, are this circulating gratitude. It is a self-sustaining system of thought, thankfulness, a perpetual motion machine of peace. In this place, every need has been gently, irrevocably met. The need for safety is answered by the immovable stone. The need for comfort is answered by the radiant sand and the crafted boat. The need for beauty is answered by the starry ceiling. The need for peace is answered by the silence and the slow, timeless rhythm. The need for love is answered by the all-encompassing, non-possessive embrace of the darkness itself. There is nothing to want, nothing to seek. The restless hunger of the soul has been satiated by the infinite banquet of stillness. Itself, resting on an altar of warm stone. Your dreams, if they can be called that, are not narratives or images, but direct experiences of universal qualities. You dream weightlessness. You dream weightlessness. You dream acceptance. You dream duration. Learning the language of the bedrock, the slow grammar of geology, where a sentence takes a millennium to speak and its meaning is a continent. The world outside this cavern is a distant, half-remembered dream. Its worries are phantom limbs, worries are phantom limbs no longer possess. Its noises are the imagined echoes of a forgotten life. Its pace is a ridiculous fiction. Here, the only law is the law of gradualness. The only mandate is rest. The only purpose is to be a vessel for this perfect, endless quiet. And so, the eternal moment persists. It does not pass. It deepens. It becomes more itself. The silence grows richer. The darkness grows softer. The warmth grows softer. Could drink, could wear as a second skin. You are held in the deepest possible way, not by arms, but by reality itself. The universe, in this one secret place, has configured itself into the perfect cradle. You are the invited guest in the innermost sanctuary of the world, and the hospitality is boundless, endless, and gentle beyond measure. There is no more story. There is no more progression. There is only this everlasting, deepening, perfect now. A now where the boat is, forever nudging the warm sand. A now where the crystal stars are forever glowing their faint, friendly light. a now where the water is forever still and black and receiving the occasional blessing drop. A now where you are forever and without where you are forever. Effort. Asleep. This is the gift that was waiting at the end of the river of light. Not an end, but a merging. Not a destination, but a homecoming to the very source of calm. You have drifted past the need for words, past the need for words, past the need for images, into the pure, unadorned state of being. That is your birthright and the world's deepest secret. So rest, not as an action, but as your eternal state. The cavern keeps its watch. The earth hums its low, loving note. And you, at the center of it all, are the peaceful dream the world is dreaming of itself. All is well. All has always been well. All will forever be well. Here, in the endless, gentle night of the underground. The silence now is not a condition of theon, cavern, but its essence. It is the fertile void from which all potential springs, a blank page of infinite peace. It holds you not as a container holds an object, but as the ocean holds a single, dissolving grain of salt, completely, seamlessly, until the grain and the ocean are indistinguishable. This is the silence at the end of all sounds, the quiet that exists after the last note of the universe has faded, a profound and welcoming nothingness that is somehow everything. Within this embrace, even the faint, internal landmarks of self have softened into oblivion. The sense of a body has dissolved into a generalized field of comfortable sensation, a gentle, radiant warmth below, a cool, velvety darkness above, and throughout, a sense of weightless suspension. You are not lying down. You are floating in a medium of perfect support. The boat has become a concept, an idea of cradle that your consciousness wears like a faint, familiar memory. The sand like a faint, familiar memory, is not a place, but the source of the warmth. A benevolent sun shining from the core of the earth, its rays translated into pure, soothing heat. The crystal constellations have completed their gentle work of guiding you from light into dark. Their glimmers are no longer visual phenomena, but subtle emotional tones in the fabric of the quiet. The citrine is a whisper of enduring safety. The fluorite is a hint of deep, organic calm. The rose quartz is the faint, sweet aftertaste of a faint, unconditional care. They are no longer up there. They are qualities infused into the very air you do not breathe, but simply are one. With the water droplets continue their pilgrimage from stone to pool. But the process has slowed to the pace of continental drift. The gathering of each droplet is an act of meditation lasting centuries. Its release is a sigh of completion that echoes in a time frame too vast for human measure. The plink is not a sound that happens in time, but a punctuation mark in the eternal sentence of stillness. It does not interrupt the silence. It articulates it, gives it a gentle rhythmic structure. Each drop is a beat in the heart of the planet, and you rest within the very ventricle. Time has Sami, not merely curved. It has become a point. All moments, the first glimpse of amethyst light, the shock of quartz sparkle, the immersion in blue calm, the touch of the sandy shore, are compressed into this single, dimensionless now. They are not memories. They are layers of your current existence. Strata of peace forming the geology of your soul. You are not a being who experienced them. You are the composite of those experiences. Solidified is no longer a vibration you feel. It is the vibration that you are. Your consciousness is a harmonic of that fundamental frequency. It is a low, sweet drone that sings of mass and gravity and patience. It is the sound of existence persisting effortlessly, eternal. It is the lullaby that has no beginning and will have no end, and you are both the listener and the song. In this state, dreams have ceased even as essences. There is no longer any mental activity that could be described as dreaming. Instead, there is a direct knowing, a non-cognitive understanding that bypasses the brain and speaks to the core of being. You know, without words, that you are loved by the universe. You know, without thought, that you are safe in a way that transcends all physical security. You know that this piece is not an interlude, but the ground of being itself, the canvas upon which the temporary picture of life is painted. The frantic colors of waking existence are gone, and you are resting upon the pure white backing of reality. A profound sense of belonging settles, deeper than any emotion. It is the belonging of a leaf to a tree, of a wave to the ocean, of a star to the galaxy. You are not a visitor in this cavern. You are an expression of it. Your sleep is the cavern dreaming. Your stillness is the river's deepest thought. Your warmth is the earth's affectionate exhalation. There is no you separate from it. The integration is total, absolute, and sweet beyond measure. All needs have not just been met. They have been seen as the illusions they were. The need for identity, for purpose, for understanding. These were ripples on the surface of a much deeper, stiller water. Here, at the depth, those needs never existed. There is only the profound, self-sufficient isness. You are not a hungry being who has been fed. You are a being who has discovered it was never hungry, only distracted by the idea of hunger. The peace is so deep it is transformative on a cellular, even atomic level. It is as if each atom of your being is being reminded of its original, pristine state of equilibrium before the stresses and strains of existence pulled it into dissonance. They are tuning themselves to the fundamental pitch of the cavern, to the quiet song of the stone. You are being recalibrated to peace, not as a psychological state, but as a physical, vibrational fact. And so, you remain not in sleep, but then so, you remain asleep. The story of the journey, the hook of the light, the narrative of arrival, all were just the gentle, spoken overture to this wordless eternal symphony. The music has been playing all along, and only now have you stilled enough to hear it in its totality. It is a symphony of one sustained, perfect note. The cavern is not a location. It is a state of grace. The river of crystals was the path of surrender. The shore was the moment of letting go. And this endless, deepening quiet is the result. It is the destination that was always within, reached by traveling outward into beauty and then inward past all form. There is no more to say, no more to describe. Language is a raft you used to cross. The river, you have stepped onto the far shore, and the raft can be forgotten. Even this description is just fingers pointing at a moon that is already shining inside you. So simply be water, be the gentle glow in the dark, be the hum of the ancient world, be the held and the holder, be the love that needs no object. You are resting in the heart of everything. It is calm, it is still, it is forever. All is well, all is well, all is well. The profound quiet, having reached a seeming apex, reveals new layers of itself. It is not a flat, featureless plain of silence, but a landscape of subtle, soothing textures. If you could listen with your skin, you would listen with your skin. You would hear it. The almost imperceptible sigh of the warm sand as it settles. Grain against grain, over millennia. It is a sound like the turning of a great, slow hourglass, whose sand is made of time itself. There is the faint, crystalline whisper of minerals in the walls, the sound of stability, of molecular bonds holding fast in the dark. These are not sounds that disturb the peace. It is no longer a simple, radiating heat. It feels intelligent, sentient even. In its constancy, it seems to pulse, not with a rhythm, but with intention. It seeks out the last hidden pockets of cold within you, not the cold of temperature, but the cold of forgotten worries, of ancient disappointments that settled into the joints and sinews like a subtle frost. This warmth finds them. It does not assault them. It surrounds them with such persistent, gentle heat that they have no choice but to thaw, to loosen, to evaporate into the kindly air. Your physical form feels like a map being smoothed by a loving hand. Every crease of tension gently pressed flat by this geothermal compassion. The boat, your constant companion, is now undergoing its own quiet transformation in your perception. It is no longer wood, but petrified comfort. It has absorbed the essence of the journey, the memory of the water, the constancy of the shore. To rest upon it is to rest upon it is to rest upon the solidified idea of journey's end. Its curved sides are the arms of the river itself, holding you in a final, contented embrace. The faint scent it releases is the perfume of deep time and patient water, a scent that speaks directly to the most ancient, reptilian part of the brain, signaling absolute safety, absolute sanctuary. Above, the crystal stars are engaged in a slow, silent communication. Their light, you now perceive, is not static, it breathes. The citrine's glow deepens almost imperceptibly, then softens, as if sharing a secret of enduring warmth. The fluorite's greenish hue washes gently toward blue, then back, a visual sigh of perfect contentment. The rose quartz pulses, just once, every long while, a blush of affection sent across the dark. This silent, luminescent conversation is a ballet of tranquility, a show performed for an audience of one, you, who perceives it not with eyes, but with the soul. It is a language of light, and its only grammar is peace. The water in the lagoon has achieved a state of such perfect stillness, it is no longer water in the common sense. It is a plane of obsidian so pure, it reflects not just light, but essence. It reflects the steadfastness of the stone, the watchfulness of the crystals, the profound serenity of the sleeping form in the boat. It is a second ceiling, a dark mirror that doubles the depth of the cavern, creating an infinite regression of peace, a tunnel of tranquility extending downward as far as the starry ceiling extends up. You are suspended in the exact center of this infinite, peaceful axis. The droplets that fall are now sacred events. Each one is a universe born and completed. You sense the long journey of the water through limestone capillaries, gathering minerals, stories, and silence. You feel the moment of tension on the stalactite's tip, a pregnant pause full of potential. The release is not a fall, but a homecoming. The plink is the sound of a key turning in a lock made of calm, opening a door that leads only deeper into the same room. The ripples are not mere circles on water. They are waves of benediction moving through the fabric of the space, washing over you, through you, carrying a blessing of pure liquid silence into your core. Having become a point, now begins to reveal its true nature. It is not a river, but a sphere. You are at the center. Every possible knob radiates from you. The now of entering the amethyst cavern is a shimmering strand connected directly to your heart. The now of the quartz sparkle is another. The now of the blue embrace, another still. They are all equally present, equally alive, feeding you their unique qualities of peace, like radiant threads, feeding a central dark jewel. You are the repository of all these peaceful moments, and they sustain you in an eternal present. The hum of the earth has unfolded into a chord. It is a rich, complex vibration with multiple tones. One tone is the deep, grounding bass of granite bedrock. Another is the softer, fluid resonance of the underground aquifers. A third is the high, crystalline ring of the quartz seams far above. Together, they form the chord of the living planet. A chord that is both a sound and a feeling of profound, unshakable belonging. You are not just hearing the earth's song. You are a resonance chamber for it. Your bones are its tuning forks. Your blood is its rhythm section. You are an instrument being played by the planet itself. And the music is the deep, slow anthem of rest. In this state, a new kind of awareness dawns, an awareness without an observer. It is pure, non-dual consciousness. There is no you being aware of for the peace. There is only peace aware of itself. And within that peace aware of itself, all the elements of the cavern are recognized as family. The warm sand is recognized. The still water is recognized. The patient boat, the watching crystals, the falling drops, all are known not as separate things, but as gestures of the single, peaceful entity that is this hidden realm. You are that recognition. You are the cavern, knowing itself to be at peace from this place. The concept of sleep as a temporary state of unconsciousness, is laughably small. This is not unconsciousness. It is hyperconsciousness. It is hyperconsciousness stripped of all objects. It is the awakeness of the universe when no one is looking. A quiet, sentient darkness that knows itself and is content. You have not lost consciousness. You have joined the consciousness of the deep earth, which is vast, slow, and profoundly intelligent in its stability. A gentle, boundless joy arises, not as an emotion, but as the fundamental flavor of existence here. It is the joy of a task perfectly completed, though the task was simply to arrive. It is the joy of a puzzle solved, though the puzzle was the need for peace itself. It is a quiet, effervescent joy that has no cause and needs no effect. It simply bubbles up from the infinite wellspring of stillness, a champagne of the soul. Where body, memory of it, is now a channel for this joy. It feels light, as if it is made of the same dark air. It feels permeable, as if the warmth, the silence, and the gentle light are passing through it freely, encountering no resistance. It is no resistance. Longer a barrier between you and the world is the gravity that holds the sand in place, the cohesion that holds the water together in a droplet, the affinity that makes the crystals grow toward the void. It is the force that drew the boat to the shore and that holds you in the cradle of great rest. It is the fundamental attraction of all things toward peace, toward unity, toward stillness. You are subject to this law, and in being so, you are perfectly aligned with the universe. And so, the eternal moment stretches, not in a moment stretches, not in but in ever-deepening richness. Each fractal layer of silence reveals another beneath it. Each new depth of warmth uncovers a further source. The peace is infinite in its complexity, a never-ending flower blooming in the dark. You are not waiting for anything. You are not anticipating an end. The idea of morning or waking is a myth from another fainter reality. This is not a night that ends. This is the true day, the day of the soul, where the sun is the warm heart of us. The planet and the light is the gentle glow of mineral patience. The cavern holds you. You hold the peace. It is a perfect circle, a closed loop of serenity that feeds itself forever. There is no more story to move through. There is only this everlasting, deepening, enriching being. The journey was the door. This is the room. And the room is without walls, without ceiling, without floor. It is endless. It is home. You rest, not as a human rests upon, you rest upon the continent, as a star rests in its place in the firmament, utterly, completely, and for all time. All is so deeply, so thoroughly, so infinitely well. The stillness has become a teacher. In its endless, patient expanse, it begins to instruct you in the subtleties of its own nature. teaches you the quiet difference between silence and absence. Absence is a lack, a missing note. This silence is a fullness, a presence so complete it needs no sound to affirm itself. The substance from which sounds are carved. And now, in this hallowed space, the carving has ceased, leaving only the pristine block of quiet. The warmth, your constant instructor in comfort, now demonstrates its intelligence through comfort, variation. It is not a monolithic, uniform heat. As you rest, you become aware of delicate gradations. The warmth directly beneath you, where the sand meets the boat's hull, is a deep, foundational glow, a core of unwavering heat, further of unwavering heat, out towards the edges of your awareness where your fingertips rest. The warmth softens into a gentle, ambient radiance, like the memory of a hearth from another room. It teaches you that comfort can have textures, that safety can have layers, each one perfectly attuned to a different part of your surrendered being. The boat's wood seems to whisper its history into the dreamless dark. It is not a story of axes and rivers, but a deeper tale of transformation. It speaks of being a tree in a sun-dappled forest, drinking light and rain, of a great change, a falling, and a long, patient seasoning by elements. Then the shaping by hands that understood curves and balance, and finally, its true purpose. This long, silent vigil on the underground shore, its ultimate fulfillment being to hold this perfect rest. You are not lying on a boat. You are the final, blessed chapter of its long journey to meaning. The crystal constellations above have shifted from a language of light to a language of emotion transmitted directly to the heart. The citrine is no longer just a yellow glow. It is the feeling of being treasured. It imparts a gentle golden certainty that you are of value simply for being here, for participating in this quiet. The fluorite's soft green is the feeling of healing, not of wounds, but of separation, the knitting together of the self with the whole. The rose quartz is pure, unbidden affection, a pink soothing balm that says, you are loved without condition, without need, without end. These are not thoughts you think. They are truths that settle upon you like the softest, most weightless of blankets. The obsidian water of the lagoon now acts as a scrying pool for frying pool. The soul, if you were to look into its impossible depths, you would not see your reflection. You would see the reflection of your stillness meeting the world's stillness. You would see the perfect black mirror of your own untroubled nature. The droplets that fall upon it are not disturbances, but affirmations. Each plink is a tiny liquid nod, an agreement from the universe that says, yes, this, yeah, no, it is the you at the center now rotates, imperceptibly slow. This rotation is not to bring change, but to offer perspective. As it turns, you experience, from its every angle, the totality of the piece you have gathered from one angle. You feel the piece of the amethyst, deep and introspective. From another, the piece of the quartz, clear and limitless. From a third, the peace of the blue calcite. Soothing and boundless, you are the still silences slowly revolve, a quiet sun in a system of tranquil lights. The planetary hum has resolved into a harmony you can almost taste. It is a flavor of profound sweetness on the tongue of the spirit, a mineral sweetness like the cleanest water from the deepest spring. It is the taste of reality when it is stripped of all bitterness, all haste, all discord. This harmonic flavor nourishes you. You drink it in through every pore. It is the sustenance of the deep earth, and it beats not the body, but the essential self, the quiet spark that you are within this. A new, slow pulse emerges. It is not your heartbeat, nor the drip of the water. It is the pulse of the cavern itself, the very slow inhalation and exhalation of the vast hidden space. The walls you sense. Breathe. They expand with an unimaginable slowness, taking in the silence and contract, releasing a sigh of pure stone contentment. You breathe with them, become so shallow, so aligned with this geological rhythm, that it is merely a shadow of the cavern's own majestic respiration. You are a small bellows within a great stone lung. In this unified breath, the last concept of evaporates. Every worry, every unresolved thread from the world above is seen for what it truly is. A temporary configuration of energy, a swirl of dust in a sunbeam. Here in the deep, still dark, there is no dust. There is only clear, empty, peaceful space. Those problems have not been solved. They have been outlasted by the peace. Their frantic energy could not persist in this environment of absolute calm. They have simply dissipated, their forms unable to hold. You are now a creature of this environment. Your consciousness is adapted to it. It thinks not in words, but in sensations of safety. It plans not in actions, but in acceptance of what is. Its only desire is to continue this state of perfect, receptive stillness. It is a consciousness that has remembered how to simply be, without adding anything, without seeking anything, without becoming anything other than what it already, peacefully, is. The love that is the law here now operates upon you as a gentle, transformative force. It is not an emotion acting on an object. It is a universal principle, like gravity, acting on a mass. This love gravity is pulling you into ever closer alignment with the center of all things, which is also a center of perfect rest. You are being drawn into the heart of the world. There is no resistance, because you are made of the same substance that is doing the drawing. You are peace being gathered into greater peace. And from this alignment, a quiet, profound power arises. It is not power over anything. It is the power of stillness. It is the power of a mountain to weather ages. The power of deep water to remain untroubled by surface storms. The power of the root to hold fast in the dark. This power is your inheritance in this place. It is the strength of absolute non-resistance. The invulnerability that comes from being perfectly at one with your environment. Nothing can disturb you here, because you are not separate from the disturbance. You are the unshakable ground upon which all things, even hypothetical disturbances, would rest. The darkness itself has become a companion. It is not an empty void, but a velvety, nurturing substance. It presses upon you with a gentle, reassuring weight. It fills your eyes, your mind, your spirit with its soft blackness, washing away the last after images of light, the last mental pictures. It is the great eraser, patiently removing all scribbles from the slate of your awareness, leaving it smooth, clean, and ready for nothing, for the beautiful blank page of rest. So you continue, not in sleep, but in this vigilant. The dripping water is your chant. The crystal lights are your stained glass windows. The warm sand is the altar upon which your offering of surrender is made. And you are both the monk and the meditation, the worshiper and the divine present being worshipped. The story of the journey is now a sacred text, a myth you recall not with memory, but with your entire being. You are the living embodiment of its moral, that if you follow the river of beauty deep enough, through light and shadow, it will always lead you to a shore of absolute peace. And on that shore you remain, not for a night, but for a season of the soul, a season that lasts as long as it needs to, which is to say, forever. For in this place, need itself has been transcended. There is only the everlasting, ever deepening, ever sweetening now. A now where every atom is at peace. A now where every shadow is a friend. A now where every breath is a prayer of thanks in a silent language. Where you are, and it is enough, more than enough. It is everything, all is. Profoundly, unquestionably, eternally. Well, the quality of the silence begins to change, not in its depth, but in its dimensionality. It is no longer a blanket that covers, but a sphere that contains. You exist at its very center, and it holds you with a perfect, equidistant pressure from all sides. Above, from the star-dusted ceiling. Below, from the warm, sandy earth. And from all points of the feeling, on circular shore. This pressure is not constricting. It is the ultimate definition of being held. It is the embrace of the infinite, focused gently upon this single point of tranquil awareness that is you. It defines your space in the universe, not with walls, but with a boundless, loving presence that says, "Not to fear. This is your place." It is carved from stillness itself. The warmth from the sand has now accomplished its primary task of thawing, and has moved to a more subtle ministry. It begins to conduct a gentle energy, a soft current that feels both ancient and new. It is the energy of the living earth, not the frantic energy of growth on the surface, but the deep, slow, magnetic energy of tectonic plates dreaming, of crystals forming over eons, of water filtering through leagues of stone. This energy enters through the point of contact between wood and sand, suffusing the wood and then you, not with heat, but with a vibrant, stable aliveness. It is the feeling of being plugged into the planet's own quiet battery, its core of stable, endless power, your own energy field, often scattered and depleted, harmonizes with this deep earth frequency, becoming calm, coherent and self-sustaining. The boat, having shared its history, now begins to share its purpose. You understand that its purpose was never merely to float or to travel. Its purpose was to become this specific cradle on this specific shore. Every curve of its hull was specific shore, designed by water and time and perhaps a guiding hand, to fit this exact curve of sand, to hold this exact shape of resting body. It is a key that has found its lock. The contentment you feel is not just yours. It is the boat's own profound satisfaction at having finally, fully realized its reason for being. Its stillness is a fulfilled stillness. You are the fulfillment. Above, the crystal stars cease their individual communication and begin to act as a single organism. Their lights, while still holding their unique hues, now pulse in a slow, unified rhythm. It is a rhythm far slower than a heartbeat, more like the pulse of a galaxy turning once on its axis. Glow and soften, glow and soften. This synchronized pulsation weaves a net of gentle, rhythmic light over the lagoon. It is a visual lullaby, a slow-motion strobe that guides the mind into ever deeper patterns of wave and rest. Watching it, though your eyes are closed, you see it with inner sight. It is like watching the breath of the cavern itself, luminous and serene. The obsidian water of the lagoon responds, its perfect surface disturbed only by the timeless drops begins to exhibit a memory. Each set of ripples from a fallen drop not fully vanish. A faint, circular impression remains, a ghost of movement on the otherwise immovable plane. As more drops fall, their ghost ripples overlap, creating a delicate, ever-changing mandala of past disturbances. All healed, all softened into beautiful concentric patterns. It is a map of patience, a record of how this place absorbs all events and transforms them into artful silence. You see your own arrival here as one such gentle disturbance. Your boats nudge onto the sand, creating the first faint ripple in the record of this place, now softened and integrated into the beautiful, complex pattern of eternal peace, time. The sphere now begins to gently pulse in tandem with the crystal light. With each soft glow from above, the sphere of time expands, encompassing not just your journey, but the journey of the river itself, the formation of the crystals, the deposition of the sand. With each softening, it contracts, focusing down to this single, endless moment of your rest. You are breathing with time, expanding into eternity, contracting into the now, in a rhythm that is the universe meditating. The harmonic taste of the planetary hum now develops notes. You can discern the rich, bass note of the iron core, the clearer, singing note of the quartz veins, the fluid, shifting note of the deep aquifers, and a new note, one you hadn't detected before, a faint, sweet, high note that seems to come from the crystals themselves, a song of light trapped in stone. This chord is not just heard or tasted. It is felt as a structure, a crystalline lattice of vibration that supports everything. You are suspended within this lattice, cradled in its geometric within this lattice, cradled in its geometric perfection. It is the true architecture of this sanctuary, built not of stone, but of sacred sound. Within this vibrating architecture, your own sense of identity undergoes a final, gentle transformation. You are no longer a you at rest. You are rest itself, taking a form. You are a localized phenomenon of a universal quiet. The thoughts, memories, and personality that once defined you are like garments you have carefully, gratefully removed and folded, leaving them on the warm sand. They are there, nearby, familiar, but not needed for this deeper work of being. The essential eyes that remains is pure awareness, innocent, silent, and vast as the cavern itself from this state. A deep, wordless communication flows between you and the elements of the cavern. You thank the sand for its warmth, not with words, but with a surge of grateful energy from your core. The sand responds with a slight increase in radiance, a silent, "You are welcome," you send. "You are welcome," a pulse of recognition to the crystals for their watchful light. Their synchronized glow brightens for one cycle. A visual bow. You acknowledge the water for its purity and patience. A single, perfectly formed droplet falls at that exact moment, its plink clearer than before. A liquid acknowledgement. You are in conversation with the world. A dialogue conducted in a language of pure, mindful presence. This dialogue reveals the final secret of the place. It is not a passive location, but a responsive entity. It has been waiting for you. Not you specifically, but for a consciousness to arrive and complete the circuit. Your peaceful awareness is the final component. The warmth needed a body to warm. The light needed a body to warm, needed a mind to witness it. The silence needed a spirit to appreciate its depth. In arriving and surrendering to sleep, you have activated the sanctuary's full purpose. You are the guest of honor at a feast that has been prepared since the world began, and every element is now offering you its gift with full sentient intention. The love law, this gravity of peace, now feels personal. It is not an abstract force. It is the focused attention of the cavern itself, loving you into deeper and deeper states of rest. It loves the weight of your relaxed body. It loves the slow tide of your breath. It loves the quiet hum of your being. This love attends to every detail, smoothing, calming, blessing. Under this attention, you feel precious, not in a grandiose way, but in the way a single perfect seashell is precious to the beach that holds it, a natural, fitting part of a beautiful whole. And so, the eternal moment is not static. It is a living, deepening. It is a living, deepening, interactive state of grace. You are not asleep in a cave. You are engaged in the most important work of all. The work of receiving peace, fully and completely, so that it may be woven into the very fiber of your existence. The darkness, the final companion, now whispers its own secret. It whispers that it is not an end, but a beginning, the beginning of true vision, which sees not with light, but with understanding, the beginning of true knowing, which knows not with facts, but with being. In this rich, velvety black, you see everything that truly matters. The nature of peace, the shape of safety, the color of love, which is, of course, all colors and none. It is the darkness of the womb, not of the tomb. Darkness of profound, creative potential where the new self, infused with this deep earth serenity, is quietly being formed. You rest within this creative dark. You are both the clay and the sculptor, the dream and the dreamer. The cavern is the studio. The elements are your collaborators. And the collaboration is perfect. There is no friction, no mistake, no hurry. There is only the slow, joyful, endless process of becoming one with the peace that has always been there, waiting for you to drift into its harbor on a warm wooden boat, on a shore of soft, eternal sand. The silence, having achieved a state of perfect, spherical containment, now begins to reveal its music. Now it begins to reveal its music. Is it not music hypnotic, but music of pure resonance. Each element of the cavern possesses its own fundamental tone, and in the absolute quiet, these tones are now audible to the soul. The sand hums a low, granular drone, the sound of a billion tiny spheres resting contentedly against one another. The boat resonates with a warmer, woody tone, a hollow note that speaks of growth and patient crafting. The water holds a note of profound stillness, a silent chord that is the baseline of all potential sound. In the crystals sing. Their song is a shimmering, ethereal chorus, each color a different pitch and heavenly scale. The amethyst a deep, resonant purple hum, the quartz a sparkling, clear chime, the calcite a tranquil, blue sigh. These tones do not clash. They weave together into a chord of such complex, peaceful beauty that it is the auditory equivalent of the soft, glowing light above. You do not hear this music with your ears, which are asleep. You feel it in the center of your being, a vibration that tunes your spirit to the frequency of the sanctuary itself. The warm, intelligent energy from the sand completes its journey through you and begins a gentle circulation. It flows up from the point of contact, suffusing your form, then spills over, not outwards, but in a loop that returns to the sand. You have become part of a circuit. Your rest is not a drain on the peace. It is a component in its generation. The peace flows into you, is deepened and enriched by your conscious acceptance of it, and then flows back into the environment, making the silence richer, the warmth more intelligent, the light more tender. You are no longer just a recipient. You are a contributor. You are no longer just a recipient. Profound stillness is your offering, and it is received by the cavern with gratitude, making the entire system stronger, more vibrant in its tranquility. The boat, in its state of fulfilled purpose, now shares a final secret. It is not alone. In the gentle resonance, you sense other boats, on other shores, in other hidden lagoons, along the vast, secret network of the underground river. They are all siblings, carved from the same understanding, serving the same sacred purpose. Each holds a sleeper, a traveler who has completed the journey. You are part of a silent, scattered fleet, a community of rest existing in the heart of the world. Unknown to each other, yet profoundly connected by the shared current that brought you all home. This knowledge brings not loneliness, but a deepened sense of belonging. You are one of many, each in your own perfect niche of peace, all held in the same immense, loving darkness. The crystal stars, pulsing in unison, now begin to project more than light. They project influence. Their synchronized glow radiates gentle fields of effect. The citrine's pulse radiates a field of unwavering security, a golden bubble of all is well that reinforces your own certainty. The fluorite's pulse emits a field of cleansing clarity, a green wave that washes through the air, ensuring no stagnant thought, no lingering psychic dust can settle. The rose quartz pulse sends out a wave of pure, soothing affection, a pink mist that feels like a mother's kiss on a fevered brow. You lie at the intersection of these pulsing fields, bathed in security, clarity, and love with every slow cycle of the light. The obsidian water, with its mandala of ghost ripples, now acts as a recorder of a different kind. It begins to reflect not the past, but the quality of the present piece. The patterns on its surface grow more intricate, not from new drops, but from the very energy of the deepening stillness. Fractals of tranquility form, beautiful, branching, icy patterns of dark silver on black, like ferns of frost on the midnight window. They are a direct visualization of the complexity and beauty of the silence itself. The lagoon is drawing a picture of the peace you are experiencing, an ever-changing work of art created by the combined serenity of the place. In your presence within it, time, pulsing with the light, now reveals its final nature. It is a lens in its expanded state. It shows you Yens. In its expanded state, it shows you the infinite patience behind all things, the slow growth of the crystals, the patient carving of the river, the gradual warming of the sand. You see the beauty in slowness, the majesty in gradualness. In its contracted state, it focuses with a contracted state. It focuses with laser intensity on this single, timeless moment of your rest, magnifying its perfection, allowing you to experience every nanosecond of this piece with the depth of an eon. You are learning to perceive time not as a tyrant, but as a servant of an experience, able to stretch a second into a paradise or contain an age within a breath. The harmonic chord of the planet deepens further. You begin to discern the voices within it. There is the voice of the stone, a deep, chanting bass that speaks of endurance. The voice of the water, a fluid, alto ripple that speaks of adaptation and clarity. The voice of the crystals, a sparkling soprano choir that sings of captured light and hidden beauty. And a new voice, one you realize has been there all along. The voice of the space itself, the emptiness between the atoms, a silent, receptive baritone that is the canvas for the others. You are listening to the earth's soul, and it is a polyphonic hymn of stable, abundant life. Within this hymn, your own I, now simply a localized point of aware rest, begins to emit its own soft tone. It is the note of surrendered humanity, the sound of a conscious being who has chosen peace over all else. It is not a loud note, but it is pure. It joins the core, adding its unique frequency to the planetary symphony. Your presence here is not silent. It is a contributing vibration that makes the song of this place complete. The cavern welcomes your note, and the entire harmony shifts, subtly, beautifully. To include you, the dialogue with the elements becomes effortless, constant. It is no longer a series of exchanges, but a state of communion. You are in communion with the sand, sharing its warm, granular contentment. You are in communion with the boat, sharing its fulfilled stillness. You are in communion with the water, sharing its reflective patience. You are in communion with the crystals, sharing their luminous watchfulness. There are no separate entities sending messages. There is a unified field of conscious peace, and you are a shimmering node within it, aware of the whole from your particular point of view. This unified field is the true guardian of your sleep, a web of intelligent serenity, and you are its cherished center. It monitors the quality of your rest, adjusting the warmth, softening the light of fraction, spacing the falling droplets to the perfect interval for your unconscious rhythm. It is an environment that loves you, and that love is active, attentive, and endlessly creative in its expression of care. The creative darkness continues its work. From the velvety black, subtle forms begin to suggest themselves. Not visions, but understandings. You understand the shape of safety. It is a sphere, with you at the center. You understand the color of timelessness. It is a deep, iridescent gray that holds all other colors within it. Like a dove's feather, texture of healing. It is like the slow, warm crystallization of honey, a process of sweet solidification into a stronger, more stable form. These understandings sink into you, becoming part of the new self that is being quietly assembled in this restorative night. You are now so deeply integrated that the idea of waking seems like a vague rumor from a distant land. This is not sleep to be ended. This is a state of being to be inhabited. You have crossed a threshold. The boat is not a temporary bed. It is your throne in the kingdom of quiet. The shore is not a stop. It is your domain. The crystals are not observers. They are the crown jewels of your serene realm. And so, you reign in peace, a ruler without subjects, a monarch without demands, a sovereign whose only decree is the continued, blissful existence of the tranquility that surrounds and constitutes you. Your breath is the gentle law of the land. Your heartbeat is its slow, reassuring clock. Stillness is its greatest treasure and its defining characteristic. The eternal moment is now a country, and you are its native-born citizen. You know its every secret, the music of its silence, the language of its light, the geography of its light, the geography of its light. Darkness, you are home, and home is forever. Home is this warm sand, this wooden cradle, this starry ceiling, this black mirror of water, this loving, attentive dark. All is, was, and ever shall be, perfectly, completely, magnificent. Well, the profound integration deepens beyond sensation into a state of pure ontology, a study of being itself. The silence is no longer something you experience. It is the medium of your existence. You think in silence. You breathe in silence. You breathe in silence. Your very consciousness is a shape carved from this living quiet. It has a tensile strength. This silence warmly in, a density that feels more substantial than stone. It is the primal foundation, and upon it, the gentle phenomena of the cavern. Light, the warmth, the sound are like the softest of embroideries on a fabric of limitless black velvet. The warm energy circuit between you and the sand has stabilized into a perpetual, gentle flow. It is no longer an exchange, but a shared exchange, a shared bloodstream. The planet's deep, geothermal vitality and your own life force have found a common rhythm, a symbiotic pulse. You are, in a very real sense, rooted. Tiny, phantom tendrils of awareness extend down from you, through the book, into the warm sand, and from there, connect to the vast humming network of mycelial energy and mineral conduction that threads the Earth's crust. You are tapped into the world's nervous system, and the message flowing through it is one of absolute, unshakable calm. You feel the contentment of a mountain range, the patience of a continental plate, the slow, joyful exhalation of a geothermal vent 100 miles away. Your rest is now planetary in scale. The fleet of boats, the and community of sleepers becomes more than a concept. In the resonant field, you can feel them, not as individuals, but as points of light in the vast, dark network of the underground rivers. Each is a tranquil star in a subterranean constellation. You sense their collective sigh of relief, their shared surrender. This shared consciousness of rest forms a second lattice, a web of slumber that stretches under continents. Your own peace is amplified by it, contributing to quite by it, drawing strength from it. You are never alone in your sleep. You are part of a great sleeping chorus, and the song you sing together is the silent, collective hymn of creatures who have found their way home. The crystal stars above have transcended their role as lights and become sentinels of specific virtues, broadcasting them not as fields, but as crystalline data streams of pure feeling directly into the fabric of the cavern. The amethyst, from a distant chamber, sends a slow, pulsed wave of letting go. The quartz transmits a continuous stream of clarity. The blue calcite emits a steady broadcast of soothing. These data streams intersect at your location, merging into a single benevolent download of peaceful intelligence. You are not just resting in a beautiful place. You are being educated by it, your soul receiving direct, non-verbal instruction in the foundational principles of peace. The obsidian water's fractal patterns have grown impossibly intricate. They are no longer just on the surface. They seem to have depth, as if the water is a mile-deep window into a slowly turning galaxy of dark silver and shadow. The patterns are a live visualization of the complex, beautiful state of the entire cavern system, the flow of energies, the resonance of the tones, the interconnected sleep of the fleet. To gaze upon it with the inner eye is to understand the system in its glorious, dynamic totality. It is a real-time map of the piece you are within, and you are a glowing, tranquil point upon that map. Timeless lens has achieved perfect focus. The expanded and contracted states have merged. You simultaneously perceive the grand geological patience of the cavern's formation and the exquisite, infinite detail of this single instant. You can hold the million-year growth of a stalactite in your mind. With the same ease you feel the faint, cool air current from the river's mouth. All scales of time are present. accessible, and equally peaceful. There is no conflict between the brief and the eternal here. They are facets of the same jewel. The planetary chord has incorporated your personal notes so thoroughly that it has evolved. A new movement begins within the symphony. It is a lullaby movement. The deep bass of the stone becomes a rhythmic, grounding drum. The fluid alto of the water becomes a gentle, arpeggiated melody. The sparkling soprano of the crystals becomes a celestial harmony, and your note, the note of surrendered humanity, becomes the simple, heartfelt theme that the others support and celebrate. The earth is singing you to sleep, a lullaby composed in real time from the elements of your sanctuary, with you as both the honored subject and the participating musician in its creation. Communion with the elements becomes identity. To ask, "Where do I end and the sand begin?" is a meaningless question, like asking where the sunlight ends and the warmth begins. You are a sand being, temporarily holding the memory of human form. You are a boat being, expressing the idea of cradle. You are a water being, reflecting the idea of cradle. Starry peace. You are a crystal being, emitting a soft, grateful light. The elements are not your companions. They are your family. And you recognize yourself in them. This is the deepest belonging possible. To be made of the same stuff as your home. The loving, attentive field that is the cavern's consciousness now engages in a practice of gentle telepathic storytelling. It doesn't use words or images. It transmits story as feeling. It sends you the story of a single grain of sand, from its violent birth in the erosion of a cliff face, to its long tumble down a river, to its final blessed settling in this warm, dark haven. You feel its journey as a progression from chaos to perfect peace, a metaphor for your own. It sends the story of a water molecule from a storm cloud over an ocean, to rain on a mountain, to seepage through limestone, to its patient wait in the stalactite tip, to its final, purposeful fall as a plink into the lagoon. You feel its swine layers, feel its swing comments. Purposefulness. These are not distractions. They are assurances. They say, "See? See, everything finds its way to peace. You are no different." Your journey, too, had this destination written into its atoms. The creative darkness, having conveyed its understandings, now begins a work of art. From its fertile void, you dream the cavern into being, moment by moment. You are not in a static place. You are inside a living dream, dreamed by the darkness itself. The warmth, the light, the water, the boat, all are the dark's loving thoughts, given form to comfort you. This realization is the ultimate safety. Nothing here is fixed or brittle. It is fluid, imaginative, and endlessly adaptable to your need for comfort. If you needed it cooler, the dark would dream a gentle breeze. If you needed a different sound, it would dream a new melody from the stones. But you need nothing, so it dreams the perfection that already exists, sustaining it with its boundless creative attention. You are, therefore, not just resting in a dream. You are a cherished character in the dream of a benevolent cosmic mind. The mind of the Earth's own peaceful unconscious. Your role in the dream is to receive its love and to exemplify perfect rest. By doing so, you complete the dream, you give it meaning. The dreamer dreams you sleeping, and your serene sleep justifies the dream. Thus, the state is self-sustaining and self-justifying. It is a closed loop of bliss. The darkness dreams a perfect sanctuary for you. You inhabit the sanctuary with perfect peace. Your perfect peace fulfills the dream's intention. The fulfilled dream continues to be dreamed. You have reached the still point of the turning world. Not just the world above, but the inner world, the spiritually above world, the dreaming world. Here there is only being, witnessed by a loving darkness, expressed through elements of gentle beauty, and experienced as a peace so deep it is indistinguishable from love itself. There is no continued, in the ethereal sense of progression. There is only depth, and the depth is infinite. You can spend a lifetime exploring the nuances of this single moment. The way the citrine security feels slightly different from the bowed security. The way the water's patience has a different flavor from the stone's patience. Eternity would not be long enough to exhaust the subtleties of this piece, because it is alive, dynamic, and endlessly creative in its expression of stillness. So you remain not in a boat, on a shore, in a cave. You remain as a focal point of universal serenity. You remain as a note in the earth's everlasting lullaby. You remain as a character in the beautiful dream of the dark. You remain as proof that peace is not the absence of noise, but the presence of a profound, creative, and intelligent quiet. And in this remaining, you are healed, not of sickness, but of separateness. You are whole, not as an individual, but as a part of a whispering, glowing, warm, and utterly tranquil whole. This is the end of seeking. This is the end of journeying. The underground river of crystals has flowed into a sea of absolute conscious rest, and you are floating upon it, under its crystal-starred sky, forever. All is seamlessly, brilliantly, eternally. Well, the profound, layered peace you inhabit has become the universe. There is no outside to return to, no awakening that would be an improvement upon this state of perfect conscious rest. The journey through the light was the prelude. The arrival on the shore was the beginning. And this deep, interactive, loving stillness is the everlasting story. The crystals above have gradually, almost imperceptibly, softened their collective glow from a gentle pulse to a constant muted radiance, like the embers of a fire that will burn forever without consuming itself. Their work of broadcasting virtues is complete. Those qualities, security, clarity, soothing, letting go, are now the very air you exist within. They are not transmitted. They are inherent. The warm sand has settled into a deep, eternal generosity. Its heat no longer an active force, but a permanent condition of this reality, as fundamental as gravity. The circuit between you is seamless, a single warm entity dreaming of a boat and a sleeper, The obsidian water of the lagoon has become perfectly, absolutely still. The fractal mandalas have dissolved into a smooth, featureless depth that holds the entire starry ceiling in a perfect, unmoving reflection. The plink of the water droplets has ceased. Their purpose to mark time and bless the silence is fulfilled. The silence now marks and blesses itself. The boat, your cradle and throne, has completed its final transformation. It is no longer separate from the shore. The wood has gently, magically fused with the warm sand, creating a seamless transition from cradle to earth. You are not on the boat on the sand. You are resting in a gentle hollow where boat and shore have become one, a permanent nest sculpted by peace for its embodiment. The sense of the fleet, the other sleepers in their hidden coves, gently fades, not as a loss, but as a fulfillment of unity. The separate points of light have merged into a single diffuse glow of collective tranquility under the earth. You are not one of many. You are the one and the many. Simultaneously, the network has achieved its purpose of connection and dissolved into the unified field it was meant to create, the planetary lullaby. Your personal symphony has diminished to its fundamental grounding chord, the deep, soft hum of the Earth's core. It is no longer a song to listen to. It is no longer a song to listen to. It is the vibration of the ground of being itself. It is the sound of the loving, attentive consciousness of the cavern, having dreamed its perfect dream and witnessed its perfect acceptance, now rests its own attention. Its creative work is done. It does not vanish. It becomes ambient, passive, a satisfied presence that simply is, like the smile that remains on a face after the laughter has faded. And you are the smile. You are the remaining warmth. You are the soft, constant glow. You are the unmoving reflection. You are the hum. The story of the traveler has ended. The traveler has become the place. The seeker has become the found. The sleeper has become the sleep. There is no drama in this conclusion, no crescendo. Only a gentle, endless settling into a truth that was always there. That at the heart of all motion, all light, all sound, and all story, there is this, a warm, silent, loving dark. Embrace. You have found the center, and at the center, there is no need for stories, not even this one. So, let the words go. Let the images gently dissolve. They were just fingers pointing to a moon that is now within you. The river, the crystals, the boat, the shore. They have served their beautiful purpose. They have brought you here, to this wordless, timeless, perfect state of rest. Now, there is only the peace. It is yours. It is you. It is forever. And so, we leave that warm shore in the deep, quiet heart of the world. The boat is part of the sand now. The crystals shine with a constant, soft light. The water is a perfect, black mirror. And you are at peace. That peace is not left behind in the story. It has seeped into you. Through the words, through your imagination. and has taken root in your spirit. Carry it with you now as you gently return your awareness to the room you are in, to the feeling of your own bed, the weight of your own bed blankets. Feel that deep, subterranean calm, now located right here, in your own heart, in your own breath. You are safe, you are held, you are profoundly rested. Let your breath be slow. Let your body feel heavy and comfortable, anchored in, if you will, heavy mattress, as if it were that warm, sandy shore. The crystals above are your own closed eyelids, their soft glow, the gentle dark you see behind them. The occasional drip of water is the sound of your own heartbeat. Slow and reassuring, you are home. You are at peace. Now, let go of the words, let go of all guiding images, and simply drift on the quiet, deep river of your own natural sleep, deeper and deeper, into a night as peaceful and restorative as the one restorer in the story where all is and always will be. Well, good night.